Assalamu alaikum. Today we have a small topic conversation, and our topic is conversation, about conversation. So we will question from Sir Dilawar. Are you good at small talk and making conversation?
It depends. Okay, thank you. Well, it depends upon different conditions. Sometimes I'm very good at small talk, and sometimes I'm not very good. Mainly, I would love to talk about the complex topics, which is very difficult for common people. But yes, it depends upon if there is a good environment and people would love to have small talk. So definitely, I could also become good at small talk. But mainly, I'm good at complex and complicated talks. Yeah.
Okay, sir, I will move to the next question. When was the last time you had a really, really interesting conversation?
Okay, this is an interesting question. Every day I do have very interesting conversation. Right now, like we do conversate with each other. So it is also interesting for me. But the really, really interesting conversation which I had, it was like when my best friends came from Peshawar and we all went to Malamjaba. Where we stayed at night time. Like we had a very great conversation session there. We laughed together and we enjoyed a lot.
Sir, my question is, do you like intelligent conversation?
I like all sort of conversation. It depends upon the person, the situation, and as well as depends upon the topic. So I think, like, for example, if it's raining right now, definitely I would love to conversate and talk about the raining, and if it is snowing, so definitely. So I think it is very good to talk accordingly. You have to adjust yourself with the what people may want, and but yes, intelligent conversation is also. It would mean like if you want to solve a problem, just like the current political situation is there. So that is also good, I think. Yes.
People say conversation is an art. Do you think so?
Well, yes, I think conversation is an art. Art is basically a very colorful thing. Like if you see the artist could tell us much more about any idea when he or she draw or paint something, right? The same as conversation is an art. You have to convince the other people. For example, if there is a complicated topic, many people won't understand it perfectly if you couldn't convince them properly. So it is an art, the way you talk and the way you explain something, the way you transfer the idea which you have in your mind. So definitely you would need to be an artist to promote your ideas. If you are just a common person, like for example here in Pashtun society, Pashtun people do understand much more, but unfortunately the way they talk, they may not understand the proper artistic way of convincing the other people. So this is the thing I think we all Pashtun people need to improve. Yes. Hello, you want to participate? Okay.
Sir, what do you think of your English conversation classes and study books?
The question is about my conversation.
Classes and study books. English conversation classes and study books.
Like, what do I think?
What do you think of your English conversation classes and books?
Well, I think both of them are interesting. When it comes to reading a book, definitely you need a separate peaceful place where you could read it properly and you could understand whatever is written there. But when it comes to classes, for me, I think this is also sort of book for me because I could see different people with different problems, and so you could read them what the problem is there and how you could tackle that problem and how they could stand on their own feet and let them start their conversation. So I think both of them are a sort of book for me, but this one is a practical book. I mean the conversation classes, and it is also more. But when it comes to reading the books, it is more interesting because you are trying to understand the ideas and experiences of other people. Yeah. Yes.
Sir, my question is that what do you do when you hear your name pop on in others' people conversation?
Yeah. Whenever I hear my name pop up in others' conversations, so yeah, definitely I get attraction there. I definitely would want, for what purpose they might have said my name, and definitely I would go close to them and maybe ask them, yeah, you are talking about me. So what is there to talk about? And I think usually every person would do this because they have heard their name in someone's conversation. Definitely they would want to listen. What might other people be talking about him or her? Yes. Yes.
Sir, I will ask a question. Are you okay at everyday conversation in English?
Okay. Well, again, it depends upon, like, for example, you are a student here. Definitely, first of all, you need to understand the everyday conversation. There is a range of topics. So basically, it is part of my job. Definitely, I'm okay with this conversation. But when it comes to solving the bigger problem, for example, the country problem and national, international, or and neighborhood problems, definitely, then I wouldn't need the everyday topics. Then we would need to discuss some very important topics. But everyday topics is good for me because it gives me more relaxation and we could have fun.
So,
Okay. Yes.
sir, do you like to other people conversations?
Yes, I like the conversation of other people because when I listen to them, definitely I could get more ideas because I am not a complete person. Everyone is not a complete person. So when other people conversate with each other, I try to understand the different angles, how the people see this world. And yeah, I could learn much more from the conversation of other people. Yes.
So I have a question. How do you feel when the people you interrupt you in the middle of an important conversation, sir?
Okay. Yeah, this is a good question. For some people, it is not a problem because whenever you interrupt some people, they could definitely not only handle the interruption, but also could stick with the point when they are about to say. Basically, I think we should have the ability when people interrupt us and then we could restart our conversation, but it isn't there. So I would say, like, if people do not interrupt me or other people, it would be a good idea. It would be like more professional and formal idea, because if we start interrupting each other, I don't think it would be very helpful for the audience, especially. Yeah. Yes. You will.
Yes, sir. Someone said conversation is an exercise of the mind.
Ask questions.
Gossip is merely an exercise of the tongue. What does this mean? Do you agree, sir?
Yes, I agree because when you conversate, well, there are many terms like gossiping, conversation, discussions, debate, and communication. All these are like different terms whenever you talk, like you talking and saying something. So yes, whenever there is gossiping, you don't intellectually use your mind rather than you use your tongue. So it is a sort of, exercise of your tongue. You don't think about whatever you say intellectually, but you just want to have fun and enjoy the moment. But yes, when it comes to conversation is the initial, started point where you try to negotiate with the other and settle down a problem. So definitely then you would need your mental exercise. Mentally you should think about it, like what should you say and what you should not say.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir. Have you ever overheard a conversation you wish you hadn't?
Okay. Have you? Could you please repeat the question?
Have you ever overheard a conversation?
Overheard?
Yeah, overheard.
Overheard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I have overheard some sort of conversation. Like I have heard about the too much problems which exist here in our world. So I wished I wouldn't hear all those problems, because then what you do, like, you can't focus on the positivity. Mainly you focused on all those negative sides of the world. So definitely I would wish if I have I hadn't heard those conversations which are like bum blast and this problem and that problem. Yeah, I hope it was good answer. Okay.
Sir, I have a question. A Chinese proverb says, "A single conversation across the table with a wise person is worth a month's study of books." Do you agree, sir?
Yeah, could you please repeat the question, because I was interrupted by other
Yes, sir. A Chinese proverb says,
Uh-huh.
"A single conversation across the table with a wise person is worth a month's studies of book." Do you agree, sir, with this?
Yes, basically when you read a book, this is good, but when there is a wise person, basically the book is written in the past, but the wise person lives in the present. So definitely this wise person could, you don't only read the black text of the book, but rather than you could also read the whole entire person and the present, right? And this wise person, whatever he says, like you could write 3, 4 or 5 books, whatever he says or she says, right? So I think it is good, but there is a but. There are some people, they could read book with interest, and there are other people who could listen to the people with interest. It also depends upon the nature of the person. So for some people, reading good books is good, and for some other people, maybe listening to the wise person across the table would be beneficial. Yes.
What type of conversation do you like most?
Well, I like all sort of conversation, but with one condition. The condition is the conversation should not harm the society, and the person shouldn't be harmed, and it shouldn't harm me. It should be beneficial in one or the other way. So whatever is the topic, I could discuss any topic, regardless of the taboos topics or whatever is the topic. So every topic is good for me, but it shouldn't hurt people, the sentiment of the people, and it shouldn't harm the people. Yes.
Sir, how long are your phone conversation?
Complete question.
How long are your phone conversations, sir?
It seems like it is not a complete question. How long?
How long are you phone conversation?
Can you read it from there?
How long are your phone
Sir,
conversation?
how long are your phone conversation?
This is the question.
This is the question,
How
sir.
long are your phone conversation?
How long is my phone conversation?
Yes, sir. This is the question.
Yeah. Okay, so how long is my phone conversation? Okay, it might mean like how much time do I spend on conversating online on the phone as compared to the social or practical conversation. Well, conversating on phone is very, very difficult for me because I love the practical conversation. There are too much benefits on practical face-to-face conversation. But yes, when there is the problem, you couldn't reach to a specific place. For example, if you want to talk with a person which is far away from you, maybe in the Europe or other part of the world, so definitely then we could also conversate. But I haven't that much conversated on the phone, rather than like I conversated practically face to face a lot. Yes. Okay.
What topic of conversation do you enjoy most?
This was, I think, asked, but let me repeat it again. I enjoy 2 different types of topics. One, which is simple, like which have fun, like talking about weather and talking about cultures and talking about hobbies and likes and dislikes. So this is a simple topic which is good because this would give us some relief about because every person has tension and problem, and so we just want to have fun and discuss simple conversation. On the other hand, I could also discuss the conversation which are very, very tough and difficult and complex for other people. Like there are problems, political problems are there, so I could discuss political problems, or I could talk about the
Another question: what springs to mind when you hear the word conversation?
many things. When I hear the word conversation, mainly children and women, comes in my mind because mainly they talk a lot. They conversate a lot. So mainly those people come in my mind. But apart from this, we, the people here in Pashtun society, also comes in my mind because unfortunately, we cannot conversate in a very, very professional way. So I think we should learn this thing. Why? Because we Pashtun people have great energy. We have great thought processes. We have great ideas. But the problem is we are unable to convey or convince other people whatever we have. So this is also something which comes in my mind.
Sir, I have a question. Do you like listening to others people's conversations?
It depends upon the situation. Sometimes I like to listen to the conversations of other people. When the topic is of my interest, so definitely I would listen to them and I would learn much more from them. So like listening to the other people is a good thing because you should not only talk and talk. You should also listen to the other people so that you could see what is beneficial there for you.